Beis. Od nispor bezoar inyan bego lego. Further, it's explained in Zohar this concept of inside. Besofa idra zuta dafresh tzadik vav amud beis. In the end of the holy idra zuta misbarcha hay kodesh hakodashim, that it says that this holy of holies is blessed. Bego lego asar dekri Tzion chulu, inside this place that's called Tzion. So there's an equation between Kodesh HaKodashim and Tzion, and it's called inside. Find Mashakazav Minyan Tzion, V'Torah Or, B'Dibur HaMaschil, Roni V'Simchi, Durush HaSheni, U'B'Abir. Hine Tzion, Lashon Zohar, V'Lashon Nekeva. Now Tzion is both a masculine and a feminine, Shubichinis Tochar V'Nukvachul, which is like this concept of the union of the masculine and feminine, and that's like the concept of these words, iro, that's pronounced with a cholem, even though it's spelled with a hey, just like the word shlomo. And further there, ki tzion loshen siman v'chosem, either in the Zohar or in Roni v'Simchi. It says that Tzion is from the language of a sign and a seal, because over there on that level, that's when she receives all the lights from above truly. Yishlach Ezracha Mikodesh Mitzion Isadeka, that it says, He will send your help from the holy and support you from Tzion. Amar Bilevi, Reish Lamed, called Tovos Ubrachos V'Nechamos Shakadosh Baruch Hu Asili Ten Yisrael, that it said, he said, all the good and the blessings and the comforts that the Holy One, blessed be He, in the future will give to Israel, Einan Ela Mitzion, are only coming from Tzion. Yeshua, Ela Mitzion Yeshua, from the saving of Tzion. Shenemar, Mitain Mitzion Yeshua Yisrael Chulu, like it says, who will give from Tzion the redemptions of Israel. Bracha Mitzion, and a blessing will come from Tzion. So Yeshua comes. That's how Yeshua comes from Tzion. Bracha comes from Tzion. Shenemar, Yivarechecha Havaya Mitzion Chulu, like the pasuk says that Havaya will bless you from Tzion. Yain Shem, look over there. Uperish mi yitain, and what does it mean? Who will give? The mi will give. Nispar v'lekutei Torah ba'abir al adrush mishashik dimu Yisrael nase b'sof abir. Mistama, that it comes from the level of mi, of bina. Vayin bepardi serech Tzion. Vayin Zohar Chelek beis b'shalach daf nun hem al pasuk ki ein vayin yiru b'shuv Havaya Tzion chulu. Look what's spread in Zohar b'shalach on that eye to eye we will see when Havaya returns Tzion. Litzion mevoyle chulu yain sham. What that it should have said when Havaya returns to Tzion, but it doesn't say that. It simply says b'shuv Havaya Tzion, that Havaya will return Tzion. Look over there. That explains this idea. Ubim ori or os tzadik samech tesvav simin tesvav ein mashakazval pasuk mitzion yisadeka telim simin kaf. Ubizor Parshas Shlach daf kufayin aleph amud aleph lego mikol inun dargin. So in Zohar Shlach it says that inside of all these levels is chesed chad nikuda chulu. There's one kindness that's this point. Ikri hayom hahu, and it's called on that day. And somehow that's connected here. Ubibiyori hazor perush tahinu keser shebemalchus. What is Hayom Hahu? That is the crown of Malchus. Shihia Kedusha Asiris Meser Kedushos. That's the 10th holy level from the 10 levels of holiness. That is the Holy of Holies. mistama, this concept of Tzion. With Mikdash Melech Parshas Bereshis Taf Vav Amar Aleph Gabi Man Da'ay Legochulu. In Mikdash Melech Bereshis it talks about the one who goes up inside La Asr Dahahi Nekuda Sharia, that place where that point rests. Again, the concept of Tzion. So when in the Zohar Shlach that he brought, he didn't explain. He says Mikol Lego Mikol Inun Dargin is Chesed Chad Nekuda. So this Chesed Chad Nekuda Mistam is also like this Nekuda here that we're talking about at Tzion. And Taka, he says Perush Divrei Zohar Parshas Shlachanal Ba'ofen Acher. And so there's another explanation, and he explains the Zohar Shlach in a different way. That Nekuda that he mentions there is the Nekuda Sayisod, the inner Nekuda. So I guess there's another beer on that Chesed Chad Nekuda, the Lashon in Zohar Shlach. But here it seems that it fits in with the beer of Lego being, and the Nekuda being Tzion, or Pnimius Hayisod. Rein Minyan Nekuda, Zohar Chelek Beis, Parshas Vayikra, Tafesh Talat Aleph Beis. So look, in Zohar Vayikra, where it discusses the idea of the Nekuda, by Parshas Balak, Taf Tzadik Gimel Amud Beis, B'me'ori or Nun Sif Lamed, Inyan Nekude Behechle Chulu, and Merior Os Nun Sif Lamed, it discusses the idea of the point in its palace, which could be Chochma within Bina, but here we're talking about within Yesod. And that's similar to this concept of inside the holy palace, the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Ketzer, and so in short, that's the concept of Tzion, v'nikra hayom hahu, and it's called on that day, like we said, Keser Malchus, Inyan Nekuda Beichlei, the concept of the point in its palace, Haikra Isli Staklabe. So now he's bringing something else. He's going to explain the Inyan of Nekuda Beichlei that he brought. And it looks like he's quoting the Zohar. It says this verse we need to look into. Amai Amar V'ra Isi Ani. Why does it say that I saw he's quoting that I saw the Yisron of Chochmah Min HaSichlus is like the Or Min HaChoshech. So he says, I saw. V'chi shabni alma lo yadai. Do all the other people in the world not know this? V'lo chaman da, and don't see this. Afilu man lo yada chochmasa min yomoy v'lo eshkach ba. Anyone who doesn't know wisdom all his days and doesn't care about it, Yada Hai will know this, that there's a greatness of wisdom over folly, like the greatness of light over darkness. And he praises himself, and he says that I saw this. So the Zohar explains that and look in Zohar Emor, where it similarly asks that Yoshua says to the whole nation, that thus says Havaya, the Elokav Yisrael be'ever hanahar yashvu v'seichem ha'olam, that on the other side of the river your father sat from before. Hanikrai isle stakl behu, that these verses, we need to look in them. Don't all of Israel know this? That we sat on the other side of the Jordan, the other side of the river, and how much more so Yoshua knew this? Why is it saying that Hashem said this? Similarly is the question here, what does it mean that I saw this? And the explanation will say, the answer will explain that the truth is that this is a great chidush that Shlomo told us, that we're saying that you'll draw out a greatness from the foolishness, that it's specifically from the darkness that you draw out the light, and its comparison, so too, that from the folly, it's not when you compare them, rather it's that specifically from foolishness you'll get out a greatness to the wisdom, like the concept of who will give purity from impurity, that specifically from the impurity of the red heifer will draw out purity. So too, we can explain there, and from the other side of the river, that refers to the river that goes out of Eden. And they were on the other side of that river, Terach, that is Terach, that he was on the other side, on the side of Klippa. Asar Rechoka, Karav Lahon, that is from a faraway place, he drew them near. But about this it says, who will give purity from impurity. Avraham miterach, that Avraham came from Terach. I'm not sure how that corresponds with the Avos being on the other side of the Nahar Yotzim. To explain the idea that Shlomo says, I saw specifically about this greatness of light from darkness. Shlomo. We preface the idea of the greatness of the wisdom of Shlomo. In another place I saw that it's the idea of Chachmas Chitzonus. Look on another place it talks about the wise shouldn't praise themselves with his wisdom, but Haskel Yodosi, he should praise themselves with knowing me. And this is the root of the wisdom of Shlomo, that he praises himself with the concept of not with his Chachma, but with Haskel Yodosi. And this is what it says. So this is a continuation of that Zohar L'chora. So this is how we learn Man Chakim Kishlomo, who is wise like Shlomo. The Bishiva Dargin, the Chachmasa, is that with 7 levels of wisdom, he's called Begavna de La'ela, in the likeness of above. So what are these 7 levels? I haven't heard of 7 levels from Shlomo before, but he says you should be awakened to how this is connected to what is brought in Medrash Rabbi Shemini, where it says that wisdom's built her house, and it's carved out of the pillars are 7 that are carved out. B'mishlei Rish Simentes U'mefarshu Sham Bekam Ofanim, and it explains that they're in the Medrash Mini in a number of ways. Al Zayin Yemei Breshis or Ohr Hatorah, whether these 7 refer to the 7 days of creation, or the Torah, or Al Zayin Yemei Hamiluim, or that it refers to the 7 days of establishing the Mishkan. Yain Sham, look over there in the Medrash Mini. Shis Yomin Le'ela Shvia Alayhu, how you have 6 days above, and the 7th above them. Shisa Yomin Lisata Shvia Alayhu, and you have 6 days below and the seventh above them, Pirush b'Mikdash Melech. So the Mikdash Melech explains, Shisa Yomin Le'elav of Ksavos Deze'er, that you have 6 days above. That refers to the 6 sides, so to speak, of Zeranpin, Shviya Alaihu, and the 7th above them, Pirush Bina, that is to say Bina. Vayim Bezoar Chelek Beis, Parshas B'Shalach, Daf Samach Gimel Amud Beis, B'Parshas Yisro, Daf Beiches Amud Aleph, Shisa Yom Elisata, and these 6 days below, Shviya Alaihu, and you have the 7th above them, Pirush b'Mikdash Melech, Nun Beis Debria, Nira Bezeh, Debria, some levels in Briad Kanashono. So it's not referring to Atzilus, but it's referring to the levels in the world of Bria. Ve'ein Yirakain, but that doesn't seem to be so. Daha Achar Kach Amar, Shistargin Likorsaya, because afterwards it says that there's 6 levels to the throne. Dainu Vav Ksavos de Bria, that is to say, the 6 sides of Bria. Im Kain Hainu Hach. And if so, they're the same. That would be also the worlds of the world of Bria. So when it says the 6 levels below and Shviya Alaihu, it can't be referring to the world of Bria L'chora. Elanira Shis Yomin Lasata Hainu Vav Ksavos Shebemalchus Datzilus. But we must say that the 6 days below, that refers to the 6 sides of Malchus, as opposed to the 6 sides of Zah. Shviya Alaihu, and the 7th above them, Hainu Bina Shebemalchus, that's Bina of Malchus, V'Kemo Shekasuv, Shisha Mishimusam Al Ha'evin Ha'echas, that it says 6 of their names are on one stone on the shoulder of the Kohen Gadol. Shinvav Ksavos Datzilus, that refers to the 6 sides of Atzilus. K'mo Leah Yalda Shisha Banim, just like Leah gave birth to 6 sons. The 6 midos, Veshemos Hashisha Nosarim Al Ha'even Hashenis, and how you have 6 of the other names of the Shvatim on the second stone, Hainu Malchus, that is to say Malchus Shehi Ha'even Hashenis, that's the second stone. Vav Ksavos Sheba, and Shisha Shvatim, that its 6 sides are the 6 tribes. V'chein Pirush b'Emek HaMelech Shovav Perek Chav Gimel Daf Yud Ches Amud Aleph Shisha Mishimusam Al Ha'even Ha'echas and Vav Ksavos Sheyatzeu Ma'bina. That's how the Emek HaMelech explains it. That 6 of their names are in one stone in Vav Ksavos, that's 6 sides, Yatzau Me'abina, that came out of Bina. V'Haven Hasheni Si Malchus, and the second stone is Malchus, K'mo Shekazу B'Sefer HaBahir, Huva Bashmatos Shebesuf Hazoar Chelek Alaf Sof Sim Lamed Zayin Binyan V'Dar V'Socharis. That beer of the second stone being Malchus is from the Sefer HaBahir, as it's brought in the Hashmatos to Zohar Chelek Aleph, with the concept of where it says in Megillas Esther, V'Dar V'Socharis. So yeah, I guess you have 2 stones there. And in the Ohr Hatorah and Megillas Esther, it talks about Dar V'Socharis. How that refers to the concept of Memali and Soviv. B'Me'ori Oros Aleph B'Soch Sif Daled Avnei Shoham Him Leah V'Rachel. So in Me'ori Or, it talks about how you have so we're talking about the 2 stones on the shoulder. They're Shoham stones. They correspond with Leah and Rachel. And so the 6 sons of Leah are like from Bina, and the 6 sons of Rachel are like in Malchus. Therefore you have 6 names, even though obviously Rachel only has 2. But they correspond in general to Leah and Rachel. And in general, the Shvatim are Yud Beis Gvulei Lachson of Zer Anpin, not necessarily Malchus. Here we're saying that the 6 are in Zan, 6 are in Malchus. V'zeu inyan Shisha Tevos D'Shma Yisrael v'Shisha Tevos D'Baruch Shem. This is the concept of the 6 words of Shema and the 6 words of Baruch Shem. This Shis Tevin the Baruch Shem Himvav Tzavos de Nukva. And the Mikdash Melech explains there that the 6 words of Baruch Shem are the 6 sides of Nukva, 6 midos of Nukva. So Mikdash Melech also discusses the concept of the 6 sides of Nukva, but not in this context. Like the Tzemach Tzedek said here that he was Sholel the Perish for the Mikdash Melech in this Inyan, and brought instead from the Emek HaMelech as a support. Miu B'Zohar Chelek B'Zohar Chadash Sham Perishim HaYichalos Tazria. But in Zohar Chadash there, it explains that they refer to the 6 palaces of the world of Bria. The Baruch Shem is not the 6 levels of Nukva, rather it's the 6 palaces of Bria. So that might correspond more with the Mikdash Melech, the Perish of the Mikdash Melech. And so too in Zohar there, in Stam Zohar Chelek Aleph in Daf Yud Ches, it says that there's 6 words here and 6 words there. Shehim Vav Ksavos de Zav, Vav Ksavos de Nukva. And there it does explain that it's the 6 sides of Zah and the 6 sides of Nukva. Yain Sham Mikdash Melech. Look over there in the Mikdash Melech. So that also does support that Shema and Baruch Shem are Zah and Nukva. Vayim b'me'ori or os yud sof sif lamites yud gimel midos nikra zin zayin lepamim. And or it says that these 13 attributes are called zayin at times. Vav ksavos shelo, vav ksavos shelo. You have these. So that's 6 of her of his sides and 6 of her sides. And the one that includes them together, I guess that's the Zayin, the one on top of them. So that's the end. So 6 and 6 is 12, plus the one on top is 13. But if each one is 6 sides, so I guess the Zayin on top is of the 6 is. So the one on top of the 6 is Zayin. So that's how Yud Gimel Midos is sometimes called Zayin. From the Me'ori Or. Ein Sham Tchilas Oz Vav V'Sham Sof Sif Lametes Yud Gimel Midos Nikra Zun. Oh, so maybe it says here Zayin, maybe it's Zun. Because he says here, and further in Me'ori Or, that the Yud Gimel Midos are called Zun, because we're talking about his sides and her sides. Lafamim, at times, V'Sham Sof Sif Mem Tes and Vav Ksavos or Yashav or Vav Ksavos Dor Choser. There also talks about the 6 sides of the straightforward light and the 6 sides of the reflected light. Therefore, by the wells of Yitzchak, it says, the names like the names. Shemos Harishon Bevav, that the first word Shemos has a Vav in it. And certainly they are from below to above. Those are Yitzchak's wells, that he dug them from below to above. Like the names of his father, that's going to be from above to below. That Abraham's wells were without a vav. Zeu Gamkin, and even though Vav in general is Hamshacha, we're saying here the Vav is Matal Maila. Zeu Gamkin in Mishchu Yomini Lain, Lyomin Tatain, that's also the idea of draw down the supernal days to the lower days. Zohar Parshas Pinchas daf. It doesn't bring the daf. Yomini Lain him bizarre. That the supernal days are in Zeran Pin V'Nikra Yemei Hashamayim, like we say in the Parshas V'Haya Ki Yemei Hashamayim Al Haaretz, I guess. Like the days of the heavens, that's the supernal days. Ki Yemei Hashamayim, not the days of the earth. All could, I guess, would be Ud Kol Yemei Haaretz. Zohar Gimel Reish Parshas Tazria Daf Mem Bezamud Beis V'Yom Tatain Him B'Nukva, and the lower days are in the feminine. The Nikra Yemei Haaretz, they're called the days of the earth. Like it says that all the days of the earth, the sowing and the cutting and so forth, like it says in Noach and Lahayir that I saw in Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer, that explains the pasuk in V'Haya of Ki Yemei Hashamayim Al Haaretz is referring to this, to Noach actually. Look over here. V'Zesh because of Ki Yemei Hashamayim Al Haaretz, and that's why it says like the days of the heaven upon the earth. Uksiv, and it's written Ki Yemei Ha'etz Yemei Ami. It says Ki Yemei Ha'etz Yemei Ami. The days of the tree are the days of my nation. Ein Zohar Chelek Aleph Daf Lamed Ches Amud Aleph Mizeh Yatzalanu Mizeh. So it comes out from this the Yesh Lefarish Shis Yomin Lesatem Vav Ksavos Shebemalchus, that the 6 days below are the 6 sides of Malchus Shviya Laihu, and the 7th above them, Bina Shebe Malchus, is the Bina in Malchus. And Zohar Suf Parshas Miketz Tafrish Tal Ramud Beis. And Zohar Miketz, Vizel Shono, and this is what it says in Zohar Miketz. Begin Kach Ksiv Shivas Yamim V'Shivas Yamim, that when Shlomo built the Beis Hamikdash, he celebrated 7 days and 7 days. Kol Achad V'Kishur Achad. That is 7 days before Sukkot and the 7 days of Sukkot. That is, all of them are together, and in one union. So that's the 7 days of Zah and the 7 days of Malchus. Perish b'mikdash melech sham v'shem vav ksavos d'ze'er v'zayin ksavos d'malchus. And the Mikdash Melech there explains that it's the 6 sides of Zah and the 7 sides of Malchus shemischabim yachad, that are uniting together. It says vav and zayin ksavos, but it's, I guess, 7 of each or 6 of each, however you want to explain it. And in general, Sukkot is Mshachas Mochin Lezah from Bina. So maybe the first 7 days is from Malchus. The concept of Yom Kippur. That's in those 7 days. And, which is in general is the Binyan Hanukva. V'zeu inyan Shiva v'Shiva Mutzakos. And this is the concept of 7 and 7 are poured L'neros to the candles Asher al Rosho. And we have the menorah of Zechariah, which also says 7 and 7. Omnam Mizor Chadasham Perish Gamkin Shivas Yamim Le'ela. So in Zohar there, it explains that you have 7 days above Bizah. Shivas Yamim Lesata Bizayni Cholos V'Chulu Kanal. And you have 7 days below, that's in the 7 palaces. And like we said, that you have this other viewpoint that this second 7 are not in Malchus but in the Hechalas Bria. Vayim Zohar Truma Daf Kuf Lamed Daled V'Daf Kuf Lamed Hesaf Amud Aleph Amud Beis Binyan Kegavna Di'inun Misyachtin Le'elachulu. Look what it says about as they are united above, like we say on Shabbos. Malay Shabbata Kegavna B'Siddur Shara Shabbos B'Dibur HaMaschil Kegavna Ufachi Iv Av Ksavos Shebamalchus. That it says there. What does it mean? Kegavna, like that, they're united. So too, that is to say, the 6 sides of Malchus are also united. Below, and from there, in the Siddur, in Shara Shabbos, you can understand that the intention is they're all the Pirushim are one. It's metavech between these 2 viewpoints, I guess, of the Zayin. Of the levels of Malchus or the levels of the Hichals of Bria. Ve'ish lahayir or b'mashakas b'binyan b'is hamikdash b'makom achar sof sivav v'yivneu sheva shanim. Look, we can awaken to what it's brought about the Beis Hamikdash, that he built it in 7 years. V'ayin mizeh b'zor chelek aleph rish Parshas Vayetzi daf kuf mem vav amud beis b'Parshas Vayechi daf rish mem zayin amud aleph. It says in Zohar Vayechi that the supernal world, that is to say Bina, is called 7 years, begin the Chulu Zayin Shnin Bey, that all 7 years are in it, V'simen v'ivneu sheva shanim. And it says the siman for this is that he built the Beis Hamikdash 7 years. V'chin sof Parshas Va'era daf lamed aleph amud aleph, u'beParshas Shmos daf tes amud beis, v'ayim b'Zohar Vayetzi daf kuf nun gimel amud beis al pasuk. Yomer evudcha, look what's brought up. That Yaakov said, I will work for you. He said, I'm going to work for you for 7 years. That is to say, to the supernal whiteness, and he worked also another 7 for Rachel, like after he got Leah. So that's again, like we said, that this corresponds with Rachel and Leah. And it's coming from Lovan Ha'elyon. So he would work 7 years, and this language of that he built it, that's like the concept of building the world of speech. So the building of the Beis Hamikdash is like building the world of speech. I guess that is like Yom Kippur, the Binyan Hanukva. Moshe Kos v'lekaman and the Nasir and everything. Moshe Kos v'lesaman Sif Gimel b'Pirush Olam Chesed Yibanei. Look what's brought later on when we talk about the world will be built with kindness. And the intention of 7 days and 7 days, ki shvia laihu, because the 7th is above them, shehi bina, kadisha, that within Bina, which is the 7th, is the revelation of Atik. That's in the 7 days above. Zayin Yomin Lesata Shoshim Zayin Midos Dezah. And the 7 days below, the root is in the 7 Midos of Zeranpin, Nan Bina, Alkain Bischaber Shivas Yomim Veshivas. So that's what's above the 7 days. That's the 7th above them, the 7 days of Malchus. Therefore, if you unite the 7 days and 7 days, you draw down from that highest level of Atika Kadisha, which is that which the encompassing light, that which encompasses the worlds, to shine into Mamale. Perhaps like the Shneav Nishom or Dar and Socharis. Maybe. Vayikra Vaya, like the concept of the called Havaya, the Havaya of Soviv and Havaya of Memali and so forth. Parshas Bishalach, B'Zorech Gimel, Parshas Emor Daf Tzadik Beis Amud Aleph, Al Pasuk Vaya Shivas Yomim Tachasimo, Pirush Shivas Yomim V'Shivas Yomim, Zeu Inyan Hischabrus Yud Kebevav Kechulu. And Zohar Emor talks about that she should be 7 days under her mother. You can't have to wait until the 8th day to shecht an animal. And that's Yitachas Imo, under her mother. So you have the 7 days under her mother. That's the 7 days and 7 days. It's a concept of it's a concept of uniting Yud-K, which, like we said, was Bina with the Vav-K to unite Zon and Malchus. Kitzer. So in short, Inyan Bigo Lego, we talked about inside Zeo Tzion, which is Tzion, Vayim B'Torah Or, B'Dibura Maschel Roni V'Simchi, Bas Tzion Drusha Sheni, B'Lukutei Torah, B'Dibura Maschel Tzion, B'Mishpati Padeh, V'Nikra Gamkin, B'Yomahu. Tzion is also called on that day. Vayim Lukutei Torah, B'Dibura Hamaschel. V'Haya B'Yomahu, Yitaka, B'Dibura Maschel, V'Yu Levush Malchus, B'Inyan V'Amar B'Yomahu. Look what it says about on that day will blow, and to bring a garment of kingship, and we'll say on that day, we talked about the concept of the point and the point in its palace, and the concept of Shlomo said, and I saw Chai and like Yoshua said, Be'evaranar Yashvu Chulu V'Shneim Al Derech Mitin Tor Mitame. And both of these, the Zohar asks a question on, and both of them are like the idea of who will give purity from impurity. Man Hakim Kishlomo, who is wise like Shlomo. Inyan Shis Yomin Le'ela, and we have these 6 days above. Vav Tzavos Tazria Anpin, which are the 6 sides of Zav Vishvia Laihu. Bina, and the 7th above them is Bina. Shisha Mishimusam Al Havana Echas. You have 6 names on one stone. She's Tevin Dishma Yisrael, 6 names of Shema. Shis Yomin Lesata, and you have the 6 days below, Vav Ksavos Sheba Malchus, with the 6 sides in Malchus, Veshimus Hashisha Nusarim, and the names of the 6 left over, Vav Ksavos to Oyasha, Vav Ksavos to Achozer. You have the 6 sides of the straightforward light and the 6 sides of the reflected light. Shis Tevin the Baruch Shem, and the 6 words of Baruch Shem. Vav Yud Gimel Midos, and now Vav, the word Vav, Vav Aleph Vav is Gematria for the 13 Midos. Mishchu Yomin Elayin Liyomin Tatain, and draw down the high supernal days to the lower days. Shivas Yamim v'Shivas Yamim, and you have how you have 7 days and 7 days by building the base of Mikdash. V'Yivneu Sheva Shanim, and he built it 7 years. Avodcha Sheva Shanim, and how Yaakov worked for Rachel for 7 years.